All right, Yosh. Steins Gate, episode 10, episodic review. I think we're gonna start entering the jungle here. But anyhow, we had the Ferris text back in time. Not only whatever small scale secret she affected, but the whole entire town changed because her family's rich. They own most of the town. So her text butterflied into changing the whole entire town away from Moai culture. Okabe realized this at the end of the last episode, and it just gets into this heavyweight moment, hype-worthy, and really builds you into wanting to plow into the next episode. But anyhow, the entire city rewritten by a text message that was sent back in time. Very, very interesting. Okabe wonders if she did that on purpose or not. Very interesting. So 2010, 8/8/11:58 a.m. Suzuha checks out the satellite crash onlookers and the satellite itself, seemingly. Daro reveals that Mayuri and Okabe filled in for his game against Ferris before he got sick, which didn't happen prior. The time before, that didn't happen now. The past altered, but relationships are the same. Oh my goodness. This stuff where it's just, you have to keep track of 100 things, and if you're not keeping tabs on them all, with any bit of time travel, they all could go one way or another. Oh my goodness. Fun ride with this show. It's a fun ride. It's a very, very valuable ride. Even at $50, this show would be very much worth it. I think for the most part it sticks around 20 some, but nonetheless, Mayuri and Ruka check out swimsuits. That might be time to say our line. Ruka is a dude. Moeka chokes on Dr. Pepper, which is, by the way, the best drink according to scientists. Not if you want to keep your teeth, though. Probably due to the acid and sugar. Not the healthiest drink, but certainly if my teeth were immune and it wasn't, and if it was on par with water, I'd love it all the time. Oh man, it's good stuff. No, not Mocha. Dang it, it auto-corrected again. You were kidding me. And I'm just going bare essentials of the episode based on my old notes, the core of the episodes in notes. Not blind. I wish they were blind. They're not blind. It would have been interesting to see my first run thoughts through, but this is definitely a repeat. Definitely. I think what happened was Makise choked on the Dr. Pepper. This was a really good moment. Mayuri referring to Ruka, thinking he's a she, or whatever the case. Whatever the case now. I think Mayuri said something like, "Flat is justice." And Mocha on the Dr. Pepper. It's just a really funny moment. Mayuri wants Makise to join them to swim, and we get a Daro hentai moment. And Okabe starts trolling Makise, which in my notes it keeps auto-correcting as Moaka, so I have to really be on the level with it, reading it off to catch. It's just with however familiar I am with Steins Gate, and I'm pretty darn familiar with it. It is at this point with the swimming suit things and them wanting to go for a swim. Okabe calls Ruka a dude. And for whatever reason, everyone else is seemingly stunned at such a statement. And thus it makes Makise and Mayuri both sad and mad at Okabe. Ruka starts crying about it. And oh my goodness, this has got to be... Oh boy. Well, he is a scientist, and oh man, this is one of the funniest, cringy moments of the show. This is one of the best moments. Ruka, all emotional about it, wants to leave, tries to run off. Okabe stops him. And I think grabbed him by the arm, stopped him, pulled him in close, and essentially, the best way I can say it, he gender checks Ruka. He starts groping him for proof that he is a dude. Now, even if it was the case that he is a dude here, that would still be pretty darn off base for someone to do. One would not be okay with that from another dude. Oh, good gosh. But Okabe checks for Ruka like a delivery man of sorts. And Ruka, contrary to what Okabe was expecting to find, Ruka did not have the package Okabe was expecting. Yeah. Ruka is now a girl. It's one of the greatest moments. Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. Bad, cringeworthy. Oh. So, what was hinted at prior with him looking and them being minorly spazzed, Okabe kind of dismissed it. I think they should have done different with the presentation there. I think that's fair to say. A fair criticism, so that they didn't really hint one way or another, kind of keeping it just unknown whether things are the same or not, and then possibly other things as well. So, but they leaned the one way in their presentation, definitely. So that's kind of unfortunate. Steins Gate, not perfect, but it darn up there on my list. It sure is. So Makise just utterly clobbers Okabe for grabbing up Ruka, who is a chick now. And Suzuha overhears things while she's working on her bike outdoors, just outside the lab. They always keep the window open so she can hear what's going on. Okabe wobbles down the steps, barely making it. He mentions torture. He's been through torture at the hands of, I guess he didn't say, but Suzuha takes it seriously and thinks it was Makise. She's the first one to blame. She has some sort of unknown bias against Makise. And she says what he mentions that he went through is essentially nothing. Makise made him stay on his knees for a while, which does get to you. It does get to you given enough time, and not not enough cushion or anything like that. It's not good for too long. A little while's okay, but other than that, you're not going to want to be on the knees like that. Suzuha says she did her time in reference to torture. This chick is interesting. Suzuha and Okabe go for a bike ride together. I think it would be a either two-person bike or one person kind of on the back. Something. I don't remember. Suzuha reveals she is in town. Her purpose here. She's in town to find her father. She knows not what he looks like now. And she's not really here to work in that TV shop. But it's been years since she saw her father. And she thinks he's pinned down in the city somewhere. She doesn't have any information about him except for an old pin of sorts, which she's been looking at prior. And that's her only key to finding him. And then she leaves things vague, not being able to reveal to Okabe why she has but one last shot to be able to see him, find him in this city. She alludes to having 1 day remaining of being able to find him. So a significant time limit on things. That's very curious. Mysterious. Then she must leave, for she is supposed to go elsewhere than where they are. Okabe essentially makes Suzuha a lab member now. So now Suzuha is a lab member. So we got oh goodness. It's so tough to keep track. We got Makise temporarily. We got Daru, Mayuri, Okabe obviously. We got, do we have Maka or don't we? Because they forgot about her, then they remembered her. So I think she is still a member, or a member again. Then Ferris, I don't know about Ferris. We'll see. Just trying to keep it all together. Good gravy. And Suzuha wills to alter the past as well. Everybody wants to change something in the past to benefit the present, them somehow, some way. So, and still at this point, Okabe hasn't really made any text to the past. Rather selfishly, he's letting all his friends, all the people he starts caring about, or whatever the case, use such a significant device that can change everything and save the world. But she wills to alter her past as well. She wants to send a D-mail to her father so that he does not leave the town, so he remains in place so that she can find him. And Okabe gives some words, and Suzuha feels better about things now. Okabe asks Suzuha to promise to come to the lab if her father does not appear tomorrow. And she kind of joyously bikes off into the distance, away. So she's more upbeat now. So now we get to 2010-8-9. Okabe is to celebrate whether or not Suzuha finds her father today, and if not, then they can send the D-mail to change it to the affirmative. Okabe receives an email. No subject. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Now this is where things get dark. Okabe receives a message, email, whatever the case, from no message or no subject from Pat GHQWSKM at 9 at 2010-8-9-15-54, and it states, quote, "I'm watching you," end quote, with FIAOTIU.PNG as the image of red jello. Red jello. And if you want to go into that, it's obvious symbolism. The red indicating blood and death, which is a threat. And the jello indicating they know what they know. That is tense and creepy beyond compare. Oh my goodness. Oh man, would you get the spine chill down your back? Goosebumps and oof. Oh no. So Okabe immediately becomes terrified, for someone, at least one individual, is in the know about them, their antics, their progress, everything. Okabe becomes rather paranoid. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't, really? And keeps an eye out for various dangers at any given second. Mayuri notices he is not the same self as his usual self. And I think they're in like the grocery store, and he's, expecting something any second, potentially. And then he tries to maintain himself, and he just reverts to acting like his old self, just to keep her happy about it. And then here is where we get the Mayuri backstory with Okabe. Okabe had some sort of bad fever near the year 2000, the Y2K scare, panic. People thinking the world was going to end in the year 2000 for whatever reason. There was even the Mayan one, which was, 2010 or 2012 or something like that. Just kind of silly. Mayuri did not want him to die with this fever long ago. So she prayed to the sky, unto the sky of sorts, and then a shooting star shot across when she prayed to the sky, prayed out to the sky, and asked again again. 3 times. 3 times. Well, not first time again. Not first time again, but once, then twice more. To not have Okabe be taken. To not take Okabe. So, one gets a little bit curious if she was, we didn't get any specifics of necessarily who she was praying to, but nonetheless, that's not my focus on the review. And sure enough, Okabe, due to this or that, got better the next day. And Mayuri recalls when Okabe first got sick, then he got some weird bad fever, and it reminded her of his face back at Ferris's. Okabe recalls it is the same feeling from his fever to when he changes world lines. So, aka, they're indicating to us this is when he attained his reading Steiner ability to maintain his memory across world lines. At least it gave you something, type of a deal. Not a full explanation, but he got sick and somehow he got the ability. So, but even he still kind of ponders when he actually got the ability. Okabe disapproves of Makise's cooking. Daro arrives and is disappointed that Ferris didn't show up. Daro has a time travel forum meetup he abandoned. Ruka activates a humidifier badly. And it's one of their device things that they came up with. It just fogs up the room, and then they have to do a cleanup. And then they have a vacuum, which is a hair dryer that trips the breaker. The breaker gets tripped. We get a Daro hentai moment, and the lights go out because the breaker got tripped. Right as he was saying, don't use it, they use it. So now they're in the dark in the lab, all of them. Okabe and Moeka managed to, whatever the case, by chance or whatever the case, kind of find each other in the dark. So they're kind of in close proximity. Moeka kind of starts to laugh, or not Moeka, Makise. Dang it, that autocorrect. Those jerks. Okabe and Makise together in the dark, relatively close. Not too far away from each other. I think they're in like a kind of off to the side in a little kind of closety bit. Open, but Moeka laughs, pondering the comparison of all this kind of shenanigans and goofiness versus the serious tone of a top-notch American lab. And she mentioned she enjoys this kind of lab of Okabe's in all this stuff going on. The less significant tone to the lab and all that. And Makise reveals when Okabe prior said he cherishes their friendship when he was joking to her or whatever, it made her happy. And he trolls her. But the lights come back on to Makise getting kind of close to Okabe, very close to one another. And here's one of the things. Here's one of the my blind thoughts. I managed to recall such. I thought the show would go the Okabe and Mayuri route, if anything. But it seems that Okabe and Makise was being teased, and kind of a little framework here is being built. So very interesting. I thought it was going Okabe and Mayuri originally when I first saw the show. That was my expectation. So not that I was disappointed by the time I finished the show or anything, but anyhow, Okabe is disappointed, very disappointed that Suzuha didn't show up as he asked. Suzuha emails Okabe a message that she's sorry and essentially goodbye. She's leaving. He pursues after her. He takes off. Okabe can't manage. He doesn't manage to find her within the city, running around in the dark and rain, whatever the case. So he plans to send a D-mail to himself to follow Suzuha in the evening, no matter what, so she doesn't run away and leave. But wonders the effect of what that will cause. Oh my. In Kyoma, mad scientist recklessly races forward for a friend. Now we get to 2010, 8:20, I guess. Okabe sends himself a D-mail, changing world lines. He notices and finds Suzuha. Suzuha says, "What's up?" Okabe asks what occurred. The party occurred, but she didn't contact her father because she doesn't have his information. So now it's, he sent it to the past and it changed. So he listened to himself or whatever the case. And now she kept her, he kept her from leaving. So, so Suzuha does not have her father's info. She fills him in on that she went to a time travel forum meet prior to the lab party, and that her father might show up there, and that he posts in the forum under the name. And here's where it's a hype-worthy, significant moment. Her father might show up at the time travel forum, and that he posts in the forum under the name Tighter. Ooh, boy, it's getting good. Okabe asks, "John Tighter?" She says, "No, not John Tighter. Beryl Tighter." Who the heck is Beryl Tighter? Suzuha has had fun nonetheless with all of them, friends at the lab together rather than divided up, and all these issues going on. Okabe recorded some of the party. Suzuha digs Okabe's laugh. He's got a good laugh. I can't do a fake laugh good. Suzuha felt like she fits in. Very good. Suzuha decides to stick around and not leave, and look for her father for a longer amount of time. And that is where we leave off for this episode. Ooh. I don't know. Well, I think favorite moment is Okabe. Number one, Okabe gender checking Ruka. And also right near the end there, Suzuha saying that her father posts on the forum, on the time travel forum, under the name Titer. That was like the first time around. So, very enjoyable. Let me know your favorite moment. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for more of the Steins episodic review. I will see you up ahead. As always, take her cool.